let's get started. Here's the record. On this particular tutorial, I'm going to show you how I do these ultra clean vocal stacks. All right, so I'm going to just play it so you can kind of hear what we're working with.
You know what's going down when I turn the lights off, to turn the lights off, to turn the lights. You know what's going down, baby, when I turn the lights off. Just like blue magic, I gotta have it. For your kiss and your tongue, the way you make love, girl, I'm an addict. You know what I mean, girl. You got that thing, girl. Got me walking around, kissing the ground, just like a fiend, girl. Just keep on doing what you do, cause you got me open.
All right, so we're going to focus just on this section right here. I want to solo that, right? So I like to hover over everything and hit the S button.
Know what I mean, girl? You got that thing, girl. Got me walking around, pacing the ground, just like a fiend, girl.
And this is an easy one, a 2-part harmony. I don't want to get too complicated. I will do some more videos. I'll probably do another one on this piece. But for right now, so we can get the concept, let's focus on this. So let's see what we have. So I'll click on this one, and I still have S. S was still clicked. That's why, if some of you guys that might not know, if you hit S, and you could just tap on whatever you want, and it'll solo that, or you can hold Shift and solo that, or you can click away and drag on everything. All right. So let's see what we have here.
Know what I mean, girl? You got that thing, girl.
All right.
Know what I mean, girl? You got that thing, girl.
All right, so I have two of the same ones double stacked right on top of each other, and you can see right here they're straight in the middle. All right, and I think, yeah, I ended up keeping them pretty much the same volume, right on top of each other. Sometimes I might bring the second one down a little bit, just depends how it sounds, but I ended up keeping it like that. Then for the next harmony.
Know what I mean, girl? You got that thing, girl. Know what I mean, girl? You got that thing, girl.
And I panned these left and right. I didn't pan them hard left. I panned them like 9 and 3 o'clock. So you can see it right here. And normally I'll do 4 stacks like we have here on the hook. We've got 4 stacks of everything.
Just keep on doing what you do.
See right there. Here's another 4.
Just keep on doing what you do.
And then it just gets it really fat and makes that vocal sound really fat. And I can spread it. I can kind of get a wider spread, or I can stack 2 of them right on top of each other. Because I like the way it sounds when you put 2 of the same vocals right on top of each other. Not the same exact file. Like if I were to copy this like that doesn't work because you phase it out. And then you won't hear anything. So when it comes from a scientific perspective, that's not how you would double. So doubling, you would get the singer to sing it twice the same way, right? As perfect as they possibly can. And then, that's 1 stack right there. So so this is 1 stack and this is another stack. And then you've got 4 stacks right here. So that's kind of how I'm going about calling it. So, all right, so let's see what we have.
Know what I mean, girl? You got that thing.
So you can see here, I'm right away, and I'm doing this for every track. Right here, I'm cutting a little bit. I'm dropping a little bit of this 198 hertz just because of where he recorded it. He didn't record this one in my room. He recorded another studio, so I felt like bringing it down, cutting it about here, kind of took some of the boominess of the room away.
Know what I mean, girl? You got that thing, girl. Got me walking around, pacing the ground. Just
you can hear it sounds a little muddy right there, and so I wanted to take some of that muddiness out, and then I'll just go straight down. That's plus 22, so we'll bring it down somewhere.
Know what I mean, girl?
It's too much.
You got that thing, girl.
Yeah, so somewhere right around there. And then I copied that setting to the next one, and then did the same thing for these right here. So we have a similar dip there too. Then, me personally, you don't have to use these plugins. I like to, but you can totally achieve the same thing in Logic. Might sound slightly different, but the new Logic plugins sound pretty dope. And I've done a session where I did a video on how they sound in comparison to the UAD ones and the Slate ones, I believe. But they they sound pretty dope. But since he didn't record these at my studio, I just wanted to run it through this little Neve and try to add a little flavor to it. And so you can see right here, I've got, this is just a gain. So this isn't doing anything but controlling the volume, and I have it turned down a little bit. So that way when it hits these plugins, it doesn't hit them super hard and then they go in the red. And then right here, I've got a little bit of this Neve a preamp, trying to give it a little bit of that Neve sound here. Then the little compression.
Know what I mean, girl? You got that thing, girl. Got me walking around.
And this is a preset that I made. Like if I needed a little bit more.
Know what I mean, girl? You got that thing, girl. Got me walking around, pacing the ground just like a fiend, girl.
And you know, I just kind of slightly compress it with one compressor, and then, you know, depending on what kind of sound I'm trying to get, then I'll compress it again with another one, but I'll just do like subtle compressions so that way it's not too much. And that seems to be the way that everybody, you know, at least the pros do it too. They'll keep compressing until they get to that sound that they like, instead of just taking one compressor and just compressing the heck out of it. That way it still kind of feels somewhat natural when the rest of the music is being played. You know, also depends on what the application is, what type of music you're making, and stuff like that. Then I've got a little bit of EQ right here.
Know what I mean, girl? You got that thing, girl.
I'm just boosting a little bit of the highs.
Know what I mean, girl? You got that thing, girl.
And then this is actually off, but this thing will give it a little bit more sparkle, but I felt like I didn't need any sparkle on this particular vocal. And this little mic emulation, that's off right now. So this is one of my warm vocal presets that I have for the setup in my studio. So I ended up just copying that on everything. And then I used a gate here because there was just a lot of sound in between. Let me see if we can hear anything if I turn the gate off.
Know what I mean, girl? You got that thing, girl. Got me walking.
So a little bit of sounds from the lips, you know, so hopefully that took some of it out, and some feed from the headphone.
You got that thing, girl. Got me walking.
So there's some delay on there that might be making it a little tricky, but you can hear it does help a little bit.
Mean girl, you got that thing, girl. Got me walking around, pacing the ground just like a fiend, girl.
See right there, it cut it off pretty good. Right here, it cut it off right around here. Now, yeah, I could just use the crosshairs tool and cut this off, but that was just a way to kind of be a little lazy about it and throw this plugin on there. But yeah, so that's what I did. I added a little gate on there, and sometimes I like to just put the gate plugin on there. I like how it sounds. And then I put a little waves tune. Same thing as auto tune.
Know what I mean, girl? You got that thing, girl.
And right, I just look for the key he was in, natural minor E, and then kind of ramped it all the way up. Right, so we got that on there.
Know what I mean, girl?
And then I copied that setting on all of them, and then just did a little tweaking.
Know what I mean, girl? You got that thing, girl.
And then after that, and when I mean tweaking, what I mean by tweaking is like maybe the EQ would have to be tweaked, or maybe the compressor. But for the most part, if I got the compressor sounding good on the first two tracks, then I usually just copy them on the next two, and they usually sound good. Let's see. So the other thing is, if you notice, I'll hit S to kind of get out that solo mode, and if you notice, I have everything kind of bus. So I've got his bus right here. Now I labeled it verse. Normally I label it like verse BG.
Know what I mean, girl?
So I can hit this right here, the solo.
Know what I mean, girl? You got that.
And I'm soloing the entire group, this group right here, nothing else but this.
Know what I mean, girl?
Right, so I'm also running a C6, which I use this a lot on any grouped vocals. It just sounds buttery when you use this. I use the backing preset, and then I just turn this down. Sometimes it's all the way up here. I just bring it down to where it sounds good. And then I ran it through the CLA vocals. If I'm lazy, I'll do this. Normally I have my own custom setup, or I just do it all I just do it all from scratch, the plugins, right? So I've got this thing, this has a little EQ here. Here's the bass, treble, compressor, reverb, delay. And I have a setting here, this background box. I'll just throw it on here and use it. And like I said, sometimes I'll do it when I'm lazy. But it sounds good too. So it's a good thing to use if you just need instant good sound. All right, so now I'm going to click on this bus 16, which is going to bring us here. This is bus 16. You could see from it telling you right here. I'll click on this because we got a little bit more routing, I believe. So bus 16 is right here. Okay, no. So for this particular one, it goes straight out. So if we go out here, you can see it's running through. You don't need to use this, but I have a little slight bus compression over the whole track and then some mastering. But that's that doesn't really concern the vocals. But yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. That keeps it simple in this video, not too long. So you can see what I'm doing. So if you're not doing that, you'll know maybe how far off you are. I can do a more in-depth one. It'll be a longer video. But I'm down to do that. Matter of fact, I think I will do that. I also have a course on Udemy. If you don't know Logic that well, or you're getting used, you're just getting into it from FL Studio or from anything else, or you've been using it for a while, but you needed some workflow structure. My course on Udemy is cheap, and it is, matter of fact, it goes on sale from time to time. They control that. But if you leave a comment, and post your Instagram or your email, and I'll reply back, and I'll give you a coupon for something real cheap. I'll give it to you for $10. But yeah, it's a good introductory course, and I am putting together some more stuff on my website that's going to be more about learning all this stuff, how to make dope records. So, because there's really no place online that's teaching you that, and it took me a long time to figure all this stuff out, and this is definitely what you want to learn if you're trying to make these type of records. All right, y'all. So that was it for this, and once again, I'll play it just to get an overall listen before we get out. Here it is.
When I turn the lights off, just like the magic, I gotta have it. For your kiss and your tongue, for the way you make love, girl, I'm an addict.